Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about electronic ear protection. These are just the ones that I have and use, so they're not all of them out there. There's tons, there's dozens or hundreds of them, but I have a handful. Some lower end ones, some medium-ish, and then some high end ones. And I'm just going to be kind of recommending the ones that I like the most, just kind of personal preference, but I'll talk about why and kind of the features of each of them. So we'll just get into it.
So crisp, the noises. Oh, yeah.
Mike, your mind's gonna explode.
Oh, that's nice. I really enjoy the eating experience.
So here we have a model that probably everybody knows about. These are the Howard Late Impact Sports. They're about 40 to 50 bucks and pretty much everyone has them. How are they? They're okay. They work. They are kind of a little stiff and not the most comfortable ones out there, but they're pretty low profile to the face, to the head. And they work. You can hear. I mean, they're electronic, so they have little microphones. So how electronic ear pro work, if you don't know, is, well, I don't know the technical details behind them actually, but when they hear a loud noise over a certain decibel, it cuts off the microphones and they work just like standard ear protection. And then milliseconds later, the microphones come back on so you can hear talking. So kind of on the lower end models, and what I've noticed when we were just testing it, I tested it, some friends tested them, just shooting and talking. The higher end models seem to come back on faster. So you don't miss much of the conversation if you're having a conversation while loud noises are going on. The cheaper models, you hear a little bit more of a delay. So there will be shooting and talking, and it takes a second for the microphone to cut off and come back on to hear the voices again.
Yeah, actually, it is less. I can hear you a little less. It takes a little longer to pick up.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Not much.
But in practice, I don't notice that. I only noticed a difference if we tried really hard to notice a difference when we were actually like testing. Like I was really trying to hear for the voice, see if it changes it all. And this is kind of like, you just kind of have to take my word for it because there's not really a good way to test to put it on a video. So the Howard Lates, they're kind of entry level, but there are cheaper ones, and I'll show some cheaper ones here in a second. And then there are obviously higher end ones. So how do I feel about the Impact Sports? They're okay, but I don't think they're the best in their price range. They're pretty low profile, they work, they're not that comfortable, the ear cushions aren't that soft. They're kind of like right in the middle of the road as far as like comfort. They're forest green, maybe you can get them in different colors too. And they look okay and they work. These are the ones I've used for years. This was the kind of the first one I got. I think they're the first that everybody gets. And they work out all right. So I'm not going to give ratings. I didn't really plan this out ahead of time, but I'm just going to talk about each one and kind of give my recommendations at the end. So you just stay tuned for that. So these are okay and they work, and I shoot primarily pistol, but I also shoot a lot of ARs. So they're not too big. They allow you to get a cheek weld fine, and that works out okay. So microphones in the front here, or you can kind of turn them around back if you really care about what's going on behind you more. I don't think there's really technically a left and a right, but typically people wear them in the front. And then you switch them on or off here. So this is the volume switch, but also you turn them all the way off, and I doubt you could hear that click, but it clicks to let you know that it's off. And I don't know, I don't want to really get into the specs that much because you can just look up the specs online, and I'm not really a specs guy anyway. So these are, they're pretty light, and I've had no issue with them. I've had them for years and they still work fine, so I can recommend them. But there's another one, that's the newer model. These are the Peltor Sport Range Guards. These are about the same price. They're in the $40 to $50 range, and I think they look better, and I think they are better. The electronics on them are still kind of low-end electronics, but I think they sound a little better, a little less staticky than the Howard Lates, and they're gray, which I like better, and they're also really low profile. And comfortable. The ear cups are more comfortable, a little softer, and a little more form-fitting than the Impact Sports. So Impact Sports for about the same price as these, the Peltor range guards, I think. I'll link to all this stuff below. Also, and just so you know, I link these below. Some of them, sometimes I link to Amazon links, and it's affiliate links. So if you use those links to buy the products or anything else, really, it helps support the channel. So if you appreciate the videos I put out and want to help support the channel, I obviously don't charge for videos or anything like that. You can use those links to buy whatever, and that helps out the channel. So just, if you feel like buying any of these, use the links below. Anyways, these have also microphones in the front, typically, if you want to wear them on the front with the microphones facing front, but you could wear them the other way too, and that works fine. This has the volume control. It's a little knob that turns off and on, the same as the Impact Sports. These are on the right side. These are on the left side. And I don't know off the top of my head which ones have auto off. I think almost all of these have auto off feature after X amount of hours, so you don't have to worry about killing your battery really, because they'll shut off automatically. I'll try and put that info below, but I just don't have it off the top of my head. So these, the Howard Late, the Peltor range guards for about 40 to 50 bucks. I'll just say it now. I think these are the best bang for the buck. These are what I used after this and what I still use today quite a bit. I would say that the audio levels are about the same as the Howard Lates. How loud they get is about the same. The sensitivity, all that stuff. How quickly it picks up after the shot is about the same as the Impact Sports. But I think these ones sound a little better for whatever reason. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I just think that the audio quality through these are just a little bit better than the Howard Lates. So these, another option, what I would consider the mid-range option, and really the best option, I think. These fold up, I think, to the most compact of them all. Fold up nice and easy. The headband's comfortable. They're adjustable. These are the way to go. Howard Lates also fold up pretty small. I would say these are the two most compact. If you're kind of tight on space in your range bag or something like that, these two options are really great. So then you have the cheaper end options, something like these, which are the Champions is what they're called. And these are a little bulkier, a little bigger. They still fold up. And these are weird because they have, so these have battery goes into one of the sides. These ones have batteries that go into one of the sides, but it doesn't feel uneven or anything. Like there's not more weight in one or the other. So these ones have batteries on each side and on-off switches on each side. So if for some reason you only want to turn one ear on, these would be good for that, because the other ones, it's like all or nothing. You turn your left and your right one on, or neither at all. I can't really think of a situation where I would need that or want that, but these give you that option. So these are about, I think, the $20 to $30 range. So these are definitely the low end of the budget. I think you can't get Electronic Ear Pro cheaper than this. And will they work? Yeah, they work all right.
Yeah.
These are kind of my junk trashy ones that I use for doing loud noises, construction projects, things like that. Just because I don't really care about them because they're cheap. But yeah, for shooting, I would invest the extra 20 bucks and get the Peltor range guards. These are, if you're on like an extreme budget, then these work all right. Or if you just want an extra pair, I have all of these because I have, like, I keep a pair in my truck, I keep a pair by my bedstand, I keep a pair in my range bag. So I like having multiple pairs. And for ones that don't see much use, that maybe never see use, maybe I'll bring them if I have a couple friends coming to the range with me or something that don't have Electronic Ear Pro. I'll bring a couple extra pairs for them. But for the ones I'm not using all the time, I don't really care if they're cheap ones. So I'd say, it's good to have a few of them on hand. So these are really cheap, and they work, and they look okay. They're a little bulkier. I'm still able to shoot ARs all right with them, but they're not as streamlined, and they're not just as nice. The electronics don't sound as good. It's just kind of the experience overall is not as good. So if you're looking for a primary pair of ear protection, if you're just buying one pair, I wouldn't get these. I would save up the extra 20, 25 bucks to get these other ones. But yeah. Those are these ones. They fold up. It's pretty weird going from ear pro to non-ear pro. They fold up fairly compact. Not as compact as like these guys, but it'll do. They'll fit into a range bag. And then these ones I wore in the front. These are the Caldwells. These are also These are also low end. You'll see a lot of these ones because they come in pink. I think a lot of these ones come in multiple colors, but some of them just come in one color. But these come in a few colors. One of them is pink. These are my wife's. These are my wife's, and they're okay. They work all right. The electronics are, I would say, somewhere between the Champions and, you know, the Howard Lates or the Peltor range guards. They're not horrible. There's one switch, another dial, turns on and off the same way as the Impact Sports or the range guards, and there's a little LED light on here to let you know that they're on. And they're pretty low profile. They get smaller here towards the bottom, which is nice because that's where you kind of want them to be smaller. And they're fairly comfortable. They're kind of tight. They're the tightest on my head. And I don't know if that's because they're kind of geared towards women or whatnot, but my wife has a tiny little head. And these even put a lot of pressure on her when she's wearing them for a long time. So that's the thing to note. You might be able to stretch them out or something, but these are by far the tightest of the bunch. Now the cups they're okay. I would say they're a little better than the Impact Sports. The Impact Sports, the main thing that I don't like, and I should have mentioned this back when I was talking about the Impact Sports, is the seal. If you're wearing like sunglasses or anything like that, I feel like the seal just doesn't seal around as good. It's not as flexible. It doesn't have as much, doesn't wrap around as much. And I think these are a little bit better than the Impact Sports in that sense, but I think the quality of the Impact Sports just feel a little better. These are really light, probably the lightest of the bunch. And that the weight does come into effect if you're wearing them for very long hours. So it's kind of nice that these are lightweight. And they're okay. They work. They're, again, I think $20 to $25 range. So if you're in that budget or if you want the pink ones, these will do the job. And they fold up, again, like the other ones. Maybe that can fold them up a little tighter than this, but they don't get as small as these ones again, or even the Howard Lates. So they fold up and they'll do all right, but not great. So those are all kind of lower to middle range. I don't even know about middle range, maybe just lower range. And then you have, these are the more popular, these are, you know, kind of like the Gucci ones. These are the MSA Sword-ins. These are the Supreme Pro X's. So these are, if you have a little bit of coin to spend, these are more like $300 to $350. And I'll just tell you out the gate, I don't think they're worth that money for the regular user. And I'm just kind of a regular user. If you're more extreme, these are, you know, waterproof, more durable. They're heavier, feel more solid, feel more rugged. The electronics are better, and they fit pretty snug and streamlined. So these are nice. These are the full camo edition, which is actually multi-cam, which obviously I needed them. So I got the multi-cam edition, and they're kind of cool because they have a little light here. Let me see if it goes on. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So a little flashlight here. It's pretty dull, but it's kind of like a headlamp. So if you are shooting at night or something and need to just, you know, a little more light on your reloading your mags or whatever, it actually comes in handy. I kind of thought it was gimmicky at first, but I could see the use in it. I don't think it's crucial, but you know, for $300-$350, you might as well toss a little headlamp on there too. The electronics get you turn it on and off by holding the middle button, and volume up and down around the sides, and also to turn the LED light on, you hold these at the same time, and it comes on the volume up and down switch. So these also are streamlined, low profile, and the electronics are definitely the best, and they're definitely the most sensitive. So I can turn the volume up the most, and I just hear like every little tiny thing. And I like that. They're almost too sensitive though, so you could just hear kind of like everything going on around you. You can hear your breathing better, and they're just, I don't know how else to say. The microphones are really sensitive. So it's just like so crisp. You just hear every little thing. The other ones are a little muffled, but I was noticing when I was like manipulating my AR, it's just, everything is just so crisp. I know it seems kind of silly because you don't hear what I'm hearing, but just the clicks and everything is just so good with these. These are in the front here, like directly in the front. So I didn't notice, like, most of the microphones are either in the front or, you know, if you turn around, they're in the back. None of them are on the side. So I think they're pretty directional for the front, but you can also hear sounds behind you just fine. So I don't think that really plays much of a role in identification. None of these things are like 7.1 surround sound. They're really just stereo. So they don't help you completely. They don't do as good of a job as the real human ear to dictate like specifically where that noise was coming from, but it does amplifies the noise. So you kind of have some pros and cons versus your normal ear as far as the noise amplification. As far as the noise deadening, obviously they all work pretty much the same. These are the highest end ones I own. And they're the best. I'm not gonna say, oh, these other ones are just as good. I just don't think these are $250 to $300 better than these ones for the average user. So are these worth it? If you have money to burn, certainly. They're not the best though. I mean, they have Ear Pro that are like $6,000. So these aren't the best Ear Pro by any means, but they're kind of the top tier of, you know, Ear Pro that a normal human being would buy if you're not, you know, specialty. You don't need some specialty ear protection. None of these ones have comm integration, so I don't use comms, but if you're, you know, a team guy or any kind of person that uses communication devices, then none of these will do it. But if you're that kind of person, then you have probably Ear Pro issued to you anyway, or you just have the money to spend on the $600 ones. So we're not talking about comms, we're just talking about the Ear Pro. So the one thing that sets these apart, as other than durability and the electronics being a little better, is that they have these things called the gel cups. Now you can get gel cups for these other ones, I don't think for all of them, but you can get them for some of them, and I'll show a little close-up here of the gel cups, what they look like, what's different about them. But they're basically, they form and mold to your head the best. So they're the most comfortable. They'll form around sunglasses or eye protection the best, and they make the best seal. So the seal to your head is where some of the noise comes through. Now, some of the noise just comes through the side, and that's what their insulation's for. But some noise also can squeeze through if you have little gaps in here. So the gel cups kind of help remedy that. So they're more comfortable and they do a better job. And really, that's my favorite thing about these is the gel cups. You'll hear people mention when they're talking about the MSA Sordens or whatever, you'll hear them talking about gel cups. And is the hype real? Pretty much, but really, as far as the non-gel cups, so these are non-gel cups. Gel cups are like $50 by themselves. So the cups alone for these are more expensive than the entire package of this. And these aren't gel cups on the, these are the Peltor range cards. These aren't gel cups, but they are pretty close, really. They kind of form to your head the best of all the other ones. Gel cups the best. These ones I think second best. So MSA Sordens, Supreme Pro X's, are they worth it? If you have money to burn, yeah, go for it. If you don't have money to burn, I don't think so. Now, people will try to justify the cost of these by saying, whoa, my hearing's important. I only get, you know, one set of ears and it's irreplaceable. And that's totally true. It's accurate. I'm not disagreeing with that statement. However, the noise cancellation, the NRR values of all these are pretty similar. These aren't going to block out really, I don't think, any more noise than these. Yeah, NRR they're kind of independently tested, and there's a range of NRR values that they can put. So they can kind of choose this one that sounds really good or this one that sounds more accurate. So you can't really trust the NRR that's posted. Now, I don't have any high-tech equipment to let me test these independently, but just shooting, they all felt about the same. So I don't think any of these really cancels out much more noise than the other ones. So if you're paying the big bucks, you're paying kind of for the status symbol, the comfort, or the durability. Or if you just want the little LED flashlight on, that's pretty cool too. So yeah, all of these 5 earmuffs, electronic ear pro that I talked about today, they're all basically, for all intents and purposes, they block out the same amount of noise. So that whole argument about like, oh, my hearing is important and it can't be fixed later on in life, and I only have one set of eardrums, all that stuff. These aren't going to protect your ears any better. So shooting outside or an outdoor range, these are fine, I think, for pretty much shooting any caliber. But if you're shooting in an indoor range, I would double up, and most people recommend doubling up. You put little earplugs inside of your earmuffs and then earmuffs on top, because things get loud at indoor ranges, super loud. So if you're in indoor ranges, especially if you're there a lot, I would recommend doubling up on ear protection of any any ear protection because it's just so loud. I shoot outdoors 99.9% of the time, so I don't double up, just wear these and it's fine. Now, if you want maximum noise cancellation, you're gonna need bigger muffs, just because for now anyway, the technology just requires more size for more insulation to block more sound. So if you want earmuffs that are gonna block out more sound, they're gonna be bigger. They're not gonna be as comfortable to run rifles and that kind of stuff. So, oh, mine do this thing. I don't know if you can hear. You can probably hear. I'll put it up right up to the mic. I hear some of them do it and some of them don't. So I may send these back. It doesn't bother me really at all, but something to note. I've seen other ones that do that too. So if you want maximum noise protection, then you're gonna look like you're running, you know, you're working on an airport runway. So these I have. I'm not gonna wear them the whole time, I don't think, because they're not electronic in the sense that they have microphones on them. So I sound really weird to myself right now. But these are actually what I wear when I work on stuff in my shop, in my garage, when I'm running like power tools that are kind of loud, because they just block out the most sound. So they'll protect your ears the most. So if you want to block out the most sound, you're really going to need bigger muffs like this. So these all have NRRs around 20 to 22. Something bigger will be like 27 to 30. So it just blocks out more sound, so it protects your ears even more. You're going to have something big like this. These are another pair. I don't know if I'll talk about them. Maybe I will. They're the 3M Work Tunes. So if you really like to listen to music while you are at the range. Oh, I shouldn't mention that. I'll go through and mention. So a lot of these have little earphone jacks that you can plug stuff into. So the Howard Lates have an earphone jack. So if you want to hook up to your cell phone and listen to music while you're shooting, they have those. The Peltor range guards have those. The Champions, I don't believe, have those. Champions don't have them, I don't think. I could be wrong here. And the Caldwells do. The Caldwells do, and the Champions do not. And that's probably because they're not connected, since you got to turn on each ear by itself. So the Champions don't have it, and the MSAs do. So these all just take the 3.5 millimeter jack that you can plug into your phone or whatever if you want to listen. The thing with those, the reason that I use these when I work on stuff, I don't use these at the range because they don't amplify noise, so I can't hear what people are saying. These ones that have the 3.5 millimeter and the volume adjustment doesn't really adjust the speakers as far as the music is coming through. It really adjusts the sound of the microphones, that the external noise is coming through. So I find that listening to music or something through these is really kind of like background elevator music. Like, it's not very loud and crisp and clear. So if you're trying to listen to an audiobook or something, you're not going to want to use these because it just doesn't work. You turn up the volume and it amplifies all the other noise, so you can't hear your book as much or whatever. So if you just want to listen to some tunes or whatever, these are great. But if you actually want to hear, like I use these when and sorry, this is kind of going on a tangent because this is electronic, but that's what my videos do. These ones are the ones I would recommend if you like to listen to audiobooks, if you like to listen to the news, podcasts, whatever, while you're actually protecting your ears, because the volume on these goes up and it still blocks out the same amount of outside noise. Granted, anybody could sneak up on me when I'm wearing these and I'd have no idea because they block out noise so good. But these are Bluetooth, so I just listen to my phone, stream it, don't have to have a cable, or you can listen to the radio, AM, FM, whatever. So these I would recommend if you actually want to like listen to audiobooks or something while you work. However, I wouldn't really recommend them for the range unless you don't care about hearing anything else. I do care about hearing other stuff. So when I'm at the range, I usually shoot on National Forest Service land. When I'm out there, I like to hear what's around me. I like to hear if somebody's coming up on me. I like to hear. I feel vulnerable if I can't hear. It's like if I can't see, I would feel vulnerable. So I like electronic ear pro when I'm out shooting in the mountains, obviously, so I can talk to people without having to take my ear pro on and off and on and off and hear them, and they don't have to yell. We don't have to yell at each other. But also just because I like hearing what's going on in my environment around me. So it's one of the other reasons I don't like non-electronic ear pros, because I like to hear. However, if you're shooting indoor, if you're shooting at an indoor range, I'd almost recommend a big old pair of these plus something inside. But if you're shooting outdoor range, or if you just don't care about your hearing at all, then a pair of these Electronic Ear Pro will be great. So yeah, having said all that, the MSA Supreme Pro X, if you got the money for them, they're the best, I would say. I mean, there's other ones out there that I haven't tested, I haven't owned, that may be just as good or better. But as far as these ones are concerned, these are the best, and that should come as no surprise since they cost so much. And the lower end models, I would recommend the Peltor range guards. So this is, like all of my videos, just my unbiased opinions, not a whole lot of science backing it up. It's just I've used this stuff. I use and abuse my gear, and you value my opinion, and I'm giving it to you. So if you're on a tight budget, or if you just want a good value, I'd recommend the Peltor range guards. If you buy a few of these, they're great. If you have the budget, I would recommend the Supreme Pro X by MSA's. In my personal opinion, I don't think the Impact Sports offer anything over the Peltor range guards because they come about the same price. I think these look better. I think they're more compact. They're more comfortable. The electronics, I feel like, are better. And these are forest green. If you like that, then go for that one. And then the low end models, you kind of have these two, and there's other ones out there. So this isn't an all-inclusive. So out of the ones I have, the low end ones, I would take the Caldwells over the Champions just because I don't like having to turn on both ears at the same time. These are a little bigger and clunkier and not as comfortable. These are tight on your head, but they come in pink. So yeah, that's it. I just want to make a video about this stuff because I have them all and I've gotten questions about them. So there you go. If you have any questions about these ones that I own, feel free to ask, and I'll answer them best of my abilities. Again, I'll put links to all of these in the description below, so if you feel like picking them up, use the links. It'll help me out at no extra cost to you. And yeah. All right. Oh, also I wanted to mention, so I've been playing with this for a while. It's the Fleur Scout TK. It's a little thermal imaging device, really compact. And if you know anything about thermal, you know it's not cheap. You're looking at spending, $5,000 plus for a decent thermal. This is around $600 or $700, which is still pretty spendy for most. But as far as thermal goes, it's one of the cheapest ways you can get an all-in-one handheld unit. I've been playing with it for a while. It's great. It's cool. It's, not everyone needs one. I don't need one, but I like one. So it's cool. So if you want to see, I'm going to be doing a review of this in the coming weeks. So if you want to see something specific, this allows you to take pictures and videos. So if you want me to film some specific thermal imaging something, let me know and I'll try and fit into the video because I'm trying to think of ways to make a video about this that'll make it worth your time because it's kind of a niche device. So if you have any questions about thermal, if you want me to go over anything specific about this little thermal guy, if you want specific thermal pictures or videos, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and work those into the review of this. So that's coming up. All right. Oh, that giveaway I did. Man, I feel like there's a lot of butt hurt in that giveaway. Did you guys? I don't know. But there's a lot of work to do the giveaway and I feel like, there's like a few thousand people that are upset about it and 21 people that are really happy. So I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it was worth it maybe, but maybe it was. Let me know if you appreciate the giveaway, even if you didn't win. Because giveaways aren't going to be a regular thing and they may never happen again due to the feedback I had on my last one. I super, super appreciate all the companies that donated and they're great. But some of the complainers, I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's worth doing this thing again. So I don't know. Give me some feedback on the giveaway if you think it was worthwhile. It wasn't worth my while at all. I'm going to have to pay a few $100s shipping to get these things out. I don't think I gained any subscribers, and that wasn't really the goal to gain subscribers. It was just an appreciation for you guys. So I was just showing appreciation for you guys and, connecting you with some good companies. But I don't know if it was worth it. Anyways, I'm rambling. So I'll just cut it off there. Man, thank you for watching. Oh, feedback though. I did get some good feedback. So the takeaways from that video, if you care, and you can cut off now if you don't care about my channel or that kind of stuff. But the feedback I got was people want to see more shooting videos. That was like the main one. I want to see more shooting. And I get that, but I just don't like filming when I shoot. When I shoot, I like to go shoot. Filming is a lot of work, setting up cameras, asking someone to film me do stuff, because, you know, video on a tripod gets boring after a while. So I will try to do more shooting videos, but it's not for lack of shooting. I shoot enough. I just don't usually film. So if there's like specific shooting things you want to see, let me know. But as far as just like showing shooting, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll show it when I show it. Oh, and people like EDC and people want to see more truck stuff and just more videos in general. So I'll try and integrate all those things. I have some plans for my truck. I know I said I was going to pay it off before I do any mods to it, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do there. And then EDC gear. As always, you know, comment on my videos if you have a question about something, or if you want a video about something. I'm always looking for video recommendations. I mean, I have like 30 videos in queue that I have to do, gear reviews, just thoughts, topics that I want to talk about. So I have plenty on my plate to make videos of, but recommend videos anyways. Comment on the videos, get involved in the discussions down in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. So if you have any video recommendations or anything, I may or may not do them, but it may be a recommendation that I didn't even think about. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea for a video. I'm going to work that up to the top of my list. So don't be shy, just comment below. All right, thank you, and see you guys next time.